as we get ready to go to this number. Rick, we're going to send it over to you.
Wow, and the data is actually coming across the wires on time. Good job, BLS. Change in non-farm payrolls for the August jobs report, 22,000. 22,000. Interest rates started dropping long before this data was released. And last month, well, a subtle revision to 79,000. And if you look at the 2-month revision, thank goodness it's not minus 258,000 like it was last month. Comes out to minus 21,000. Of everybody, of course, is trying to find out what's going on with the unemployment rate. We'll do that next. The unemployment rate comes in at, comes in at 4.3. 4.3. So it moved higher. Now, here's something interesting. What's the comp? We haven't had a rate that high going all the way back to 2021 when it was 4.5. So you could see that the way it dropped really was quite incredible. We went from 4.2 to 4.5 in November-October period of 2021. Now let's go at average hourly earnings up 0.3. Very solid, very much as expected. If we look at year over year, 3.7, losing some steam. 3.8 was expected. 3.9 was in the rearview mirror. So 3.7, that would definitely take us back also to mid-2021 to find a comp there. Hours worked. Many people are counting on this to give them some early clues, thinking hours are going to drop a bit before people potentially get fired. There's two ways to look at it. Maybe you give your remaining people more hours before you hire people. I think it could go either way. It comes in at 34.2. That would be the second lowest of the year. We've had several. 34.1 is where we started the year. So 34.2, kind of figures right in there. And finally, let's look at some of the other numbers we like to pay very close attention to. If we look at the labor force participation rate, and this has not been a good thing. It really has been moving down. We were at 62.6 at the beginning of the year. We're now at 62.3. That's 1/10 better than expected, 1/10 better than the rearview mirror, equals where we were in June. To find a higher one, you have to go to May at 62.4. As I said, it's been steadily moving lower. And finally, we go from 4.3, which is known as U3, the unemployment rate, to U6, which is called the underemployment rate. That zoomed up here also to 8.1%. 8.1% would be the high of the year. Matter of fact, once again, where are we going to find a comp? We're going to the fall of 2021. Interest rates, when about 5 minutes in front of the number, we're hovering around 4.13 and a 10. They got down as low as what looks like on the chart, 4.09. We're currently hovering at 4.11. Maybe the best bit of information I could toss out there is we closed at 4.23 last week, and the low close of the year is like 3.9999. We'll call it 4%. That's what everyone's going to be watching, not only on an intraday basis, but more importantly on a closing basis. And once again, I don't care how soft the data is, debt and deficits may weigh in on if we can actually close under that very key level. Back to the panel.
It's important that we understand the gravity of that report that we just seen. The most important part of that report was the unemployment rate just went up from 4.2% to 4.3%. 4.3% is the highest unemployment rate going back to 2021. I'm going to repeat that again. 4.3% is the highest unemployment rate going back to 2021. What does that mean? Why is that important? Because the Federal Reserve's two mandates: one, lower inflation; two, low unemployment. If unemployment rises, the Fed will have to lower interest rates very soon. Again, the Fed has two mandates: lower inflation, low unemployment.